Sayezz Stretch Series Part 1. In order to gain flexibility, there's no way around it. We must stretch. So today, in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to give you a stretch series to open the front and back of our thighs. That's the quads and the hamstrings. And then to open our hips, that's the inner thighs, the glutes, the piriformis, one of our rotators, and also our shoulders, actually the deep rotators of the shoulders, and also our pecs. It's handy to have a towel. I just took one from my bathroom, a hand towel, or you can take a longer one as well. And 2 or maybe even 4 pillows, 1 or 2 for each leg once we get to the hip openers. So go ahead and I'll give you a minute to gather those. Don't worry, I'll be here. And once you've gathered your towel and your pillows, just put them aside and we're going to start with breath. Something that we need to remember to focus on to ease into each stretch. So sitting nice and tall in your sitting bones, just take a big inhale and exhale out of the mouth. And then try that again. Inhale through the nose. And exhale like you're fogging a mirror. As you inhale, think 3-dimensional torso. Let your belly extend, your ribs, your kidneys. And then exhale. Squeeze everything back into your spine. Take one hand over your chest, one hand over your belly. And again, take that 3-dimensional breath. Now tactily focusing on expanding the chest and the belly into those hands. As you exhale, feel the belly pull away from your hand and the chest soften down from that other hand. Inhale. And exhale. Release the arms and one more big inhale and exhale before we begin. And then just gently, if you're not already, turn yourself on your mat and lay down. Make sure your hair's out of the way. Everything is ready to go. Inhaling. And then as you exhale, go ahead and fold one knee in. And instead of grabbing on top of the shin, grab underneath the knee with both hands, pulling your elbows wide and then drawing the shoulders away from your ears. Gently extend the other leg and let it do what it wants to do. Mine always wants to turn out, so I'm going to let it do that. And we're just going to breathe here. And then circle the ankle 3 times one direction. And then reverse that circle. Gently folding that hip in. And then from here, take the same elbow as knee, hook it under, and then take your opposite hand and ground that opposite hip. And you're just going to let the leg roll out towards your shoulder and in towards your belly button. And again, you're stabilizing the pelvis gently with your abs, but really by gently pushing that hand into the hip bone to actually ground and weight that opposite hip down. And again, just gently swinging that femur bone in the hip socket, out and in. And then fold that other leg in and just give your leg a shake, 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 shake. Like the leg is just going to fly off, like the ankle will just fly off. And then take that ankle across the opposite knee, reach through the hole, and fold that knee in for a hip/piriformis stretch. Again, breathing to release. One more in and out. And then good, release back down to that Pilates resting, knees bent, arms by your sides. For the other leg, inhale. And then exhale, fold that other knee in, grabbing the hands or the wrists. And then slide the other leg long. Think about letting your shoulders fall to the ground and away from your ears as you breathe. And then circle that ankle 3 times one direction, curling the toes, opening the arch. And then reverse it. Gently breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Take that same elbow as knee and hook it under. Take your other hand and ground your opposite hip as you gently open the knee toward the shoulder and close toward the belly button. Really think of letting that femur bone fall into the socket and gently glide around. We're actually stirring up that synovial fluid that keeps it gliding. And then go ahead and bend the bottom knee. Shake, 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 shake that leg like you're going to toss the ankle across the room. Let your thigh bone be floppy and easy. And then take that ankle across the opposite knee, reaching through the hole. And folding in. Don't forget about your shoulders and your jaw and that space between the forehead here. All are soft. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out of the mouth. One more. And then good, exhale and release back to that Pilates resting. Readjust, maybe a little wiggle in the pelvis to realign those hip bones. And then go ahead and just bring your legs and feet all the way together. Think about growing your knees up toward the ceiling and then open them and lift your heels. So it's going to feel kind of odd in the feet, possibly, if it's not familiar. And again, think about lifting up to spiral the hips open, lifting the heels, but keeping the pinky toes grounded. And then exhale, squeeze the inner thighs together. We're going to use the hands here to help facilitate that. Press open and then resist the closing of your thighs with your hands. Give some gentle pressure. Open, inhale. And then exhale, squeeze. Let those palms press against the thighs to give gentle resistance. Inhale, open. And then this time, release the feet, release the knees as much as you can. Open the palms. And this is a place where you might want to gather your pillows. You can take one under each thigh, each knee, or you can allow two to give you some more support. We really want to feel that you can release here. So as many pillows as it takes. And then just again, bring your focus back to your breath. Inhaling through the nose wherever you are. And then exhaling out of the mouth. Maybe to help facilitate the opening of the hips, you want to close your eyes. Go ahead and do that. If it floats your boat. And then go ahead and take your hands underneath your thighs on your next exhale and gently close the thighs back together. And then just to give your pelvis a little traction, take your hands like you see into that crook of your hips and just gently push away from you like you want to separate your hips from the rest of your spine. Just a few times, inhaling and exhaling. Thinking about making your low back and your sacrum longer. And then just let your arms release. Hug one knee back in like we started. Lengthen that leg. We're going to go a little more for the hamstrings here. So go ahead and take an inhale and extend. And then slide the hands up your thigh to give a little more length. And bend. Inhale, lengthen that leg, slide the hand from your tush up to right below your knee, and then release. Inhale and lengthen and slide. Now here we're a little more active in that bottom leg, so you might want to lengthen the toes away from you as well. And again, inhale, lengthen as much as you can. Does not matter if that leg is perfectly straight. And now here we're going to flex and point, and flex and point, and flex and point, and good, release back down. You might feel that when we flex, it gets a little tighter, and then when we point, it releases. Take a little figure 4 stretch here. Bend the knee, take it over wherever it will. Again, you might want to get that pillow and put it underneath your knee. If it feels okay, roll your head opposite of that knee and breathe. On your next exhale, float that leg back up to the sky. Flex the ankle just one more time. Find the reach. And then bend and slide your other leg to match it. Ready for the other side. Big breath in. And then exhale, fold that knee. Release the shoulders. Lengthen that leg. And then here we go. Inhale to lengthen. You can keep the ankle extended. Slide up the booty to the knee. And then exhale, let it fold. Inhale and lengthen. Again, don't worry about getting it perfectly straight. Wherever your leg can extend, let it. Inhale. And then exhale. And again, inhale, sliding, making the fibers longer, or at least imagining they can get longer. And then flex and point, and flex and point. Flex, point, flex, and release the ankle. Bend the knee. We're going to take it over to that figure 4 stretch. And again, you might want to get the pillow to support that knee. Open the arm. Let your chin roll the opposite direction of that knee. And breathe. On your next exhale, roll back onto your back and go ahead and bend those knees back down. Imagine that we extended it back up to the sky. Bring those legs all the way back together. Open the palms, and we're going to switch focus onto the shoulders here. So roll over onto your back and just let that arm dangle, kind of the back of the hand by the sacrum. And then lift the hand as absolutely high as you can onto your back. Gently roll onto the palm, and that might be where you stay. So we're in a spiral through the spine and a pretty deep rotation in the shoulder. So really be mindful of what you're feeling here. We do not want to feel pain. So maybe even here you want to back off a little bit. And breathe, of course. If you want a little more, fold the knees back up so you're really laying on your sacrum. And again, this might be pretty intense. So note what you're feeling. Pain is not what we want. Sensation, yes. A stretch, yes, but not pain. So keep breathing. If you feel compelled to have a little more stretch, let the knees fall toward that shoulder. But again, keep breathing. Find sensation, not pain. Inhale once more wherever you are. And then exhale. Float the knees up if you need to and over to the side to gently release that arm. Hang there for a moment and then roll back onto your back. The rotator cuff muscles are really quite delicate, so we really want to, again, be mindful of sensation. Let that shoulder release, and let's go for the other side. Roll onto your side, let the arm dangle, and then lift the palm as absolutely high as you can on your back, and roll back onto that palm, finding a spiral. Maybe you stay here. Be mindful and breathe. If you would like a little more on your next exhale, float those knees so they face the ceiling so you're on your back, and again, breathe. If you're feeling like you need a little more stretch, let the knees fall toward that shoulder, again into a spiral, and release by breathing and focusing on sensation. Wherever you are, bring those knees all the way back to your side to release the arm. And then good, extend through the fingertips and roll back onto your back, releasing there for a breath or two. Very nice. And we're going to end with a quad stretch on our bellies. So when you are ready, roll onto your side and continue to lay down on your front. Make sure the legs are about hip distance. Releasing your forehead down so you're kind of smushing your nose so your neck stays long. And we're going to begin by really gently tractioning our sacrum and our pelvis so that we're not jamming our low back as we take this stretch. It can actually be quite intense. So take one hand on your back, and as you can see, just think about almost rolling, massaging that sacrum, lengthening the pubic bone gently into the mat and the sacrum away from you. Maintain that. There's almost a little mouse house in your belly button as we do this. And then go ahead and bend one elbow and bend one knee. This is a great place. If you can't reach, use your pants or that towel that we gathered. Hook it over your foot and you can grab the edge of the towel to bend. Wherever you are, make sure that you are anchoring your pubic bone with that little tractioning and lengthening of the sacrum, and then breathe. Also think of your inner thighs. They're gently squeezing toward each other, so we're not allowing the knees to splay too far. One more big inhale. And then good exhale and release that leg. Switch arms, switch leg, grab your towel if you need. And here we go, other side. Bend that knee, grab the foot or grab your towel. And again, make sure you're anchoring that pubic bone. So it's almost like your knees lifting off a little bit. We're not actively engaging the booty, the glutes, to do that, but it might happen because of how much length you're reaching through the knee and the sacrum. And of course, as always, breathe, inhaling through the nose and exhaling out of the mouth. Once more in. And then as you exhale, release. Go ahead and make pancake hands, one hand over the other, and then place those hands underneath your forehead, and then just wiggle in and out with those ankles. Good, to release the hip sockets, the booty, the low back. And then bend the knees and cross and uncross the ankles, letting the femur bones gently wiggle in the hip sockets. And then good, just when you're ready, let that release. And savor the Sayezz in you today and always. See you back for part 2.